There is a silent agreement you make with your friends. You agree to stay exactly where you are. You agree to never make them feel uncomfortable about their choices. We are going to look at Mark, who used to live inside this agreement. Mark spent every single weekend doing the exact same routine. He went to the same loud places and had the same empty conversations. He drank the same drinks and complained about the same problems. He felt a deep sense of dread every Sunday evening. He knew his potential was rotting away. He was terrified of waking up in 10 years with nothing to show for his life. One morning, Mark looked in the mirror and felt completely disgusted. He decided he was done participating in the cycle of mediocrity. He made a silent promise to change his entire existence. He stopped going out on Friday nights. He started waking up at 5 in the morning. He began reading books and building a secondary income stream. He felt an incredible surge of momentum for the first time. He assumed his friends would be happy for his new discipline. He expected them to support his journey toward a better life. He was completely wrong about human nature. His friends noticed his absence immediately. They started sending him messages asking where he was. Mark explained that he was staying home to focus on his work. He expected a positive response. Instead, he received a barrage of mockery. They told him he was taking life way too seriously. They called him boring and said he was changing for the worse. They pressured him to just come out for one single drink. Mark felt a massive wave of guilt wash over him. He did not want to lose his social circle. He almost gave in to the pressure and closed his laptop. But he realized something very important about their reaction. They were not actually worried about his well-being. They did not care if he was happy or successful. They were only worried about their own fragile egos. Mark had broken the silent agreement of mediocrity. His new discipline was acting as a massive mirror. When they looked at Mark, they were forced to see their own laziness. His progress made them feel incredibly insecure about their own stagnation. They needed him to fail so they could feel better about themselves. There is a phenomenon known as the crab bucket mentality. If you put a single crab inside a bucket, it can easily climb out. But if you put multiple crabs inside the same bucket, everything changes. When one crab tries to escape, the others will grab it. They will use their claws to pull the escaping crab back down to the bottom. They will ensure that nobody survives if they cannot survive themselves. Human beings operate exactly like the crabs in the bucket. Your current friend group is the bottom of the bucket. They want to keep you down at their exact level. When you start climbing the ladder, they will reach out and grab your ankles. They will use humor and insults to disguise their sabotage. They will tell you that your business idea is guaranteed to fail. They will say that waking up early is a waste of time. They will try to hand you a drink when you say you are sober. Every single comment is a claw pulling you back into the darkness. They want you back on the couch, consuming garbage content with them. Because if you stay on the couch, their laziness is justified. If you actually succeed, they have zero excuses left for their own failures. Your success destroys the narrative they tell themselves every single day. You become a walking reminder of what they could achieve if they actually tried. Mark realized he was fighting a war on two separate fronts. He was fighting his own internal resistance to do the hard work, and he was fighting the external resistance of his closest friends. He knew he could not win both battles at the same time. He had to make the most painful decision of his entire life. He had to sever the ties with the people holding him back. He stopped responding to the group chats entirely. He stopped explaining his choices to people committed to misunderstanding him. He accepted the fact that he was going to be completely alone. The first few months of isolation were brutally difficult. He spent every Friday night staring at a glowing computer screen. He heard the distant sounds of people partying outside his window. He felt a deep sense of social rejection. But he refused to let go of the ladder. He traded short-term social comfort for long-term absolute freedom. He channeled his loneliness into relentless focused energy. He built his business brick by agonizing brick in complete silence. As the months passed, the noise of his old friends faded away. He stopped caring about their opinions entirely. He found peace in the quiet rhythm of daily execution. 2 years later, Mark had completely transformed his reality. He had escaped the bucket and built a life of total independence. He eventually met new people who actually matched his ambition. He built a new circle of friends who pushed him to climb higher. His old friends were still sitting on the exact same couch. They were still complaining about the exact same problems. They still hated anyone who tried to escape the cycle. This is the harsh truth you must accept right now. If your friends make fun of your discipline, they are not your friends. They are heavy iron anchors wrapped tightly around your neck. You cannot swim to the surface if you refuse to cut the rope. You have to stop letting losers dictate the trajectory of your future. You have to be willing to walk entirely alone into the dark. Loneliness is the mandatory toll you must pay on the road to success. Look at the people you spend the most time with today. Ask yourself if they are fueling your fire or pouring water on it. If they are pulling you down, you know exactly what must be done. Stop defending your comfort zone. Pick up the scissors and cut the rope. Step out of the bucket and go build your life.